This video is about SHE walked her dog in the park, and the billionaire came running to pet IT, making her blush. If this story touches your heart, please mention where you are watching from in the comments. Please like the video and share your thoughts in comments. The sun hung low in the sky, casting a warm golden hue over Willow Creek Park, a sprawling oasis in the heart of the city. The air was fragrant with the scent of blooming magnolias, their creamy petals unfurling like delicate whispers. Emily Hart strolled along the winding path, her golden retriever Max trotting eagerly beside her, tail wagging like a metronome. The park was her sanctuary, a place where the chaos of her life, work deadlines, family obligations, the relentless ticking clock, faded into the background. Emily paused to watch Max dart after a butterfly, his fur glistening in the sunlight. She chuckled softly, her heart swelling with affection for him. "You're a real goofball, you know that," she murmured, bending down to scratch him behind the ears. Max responded by leaning into her touch, his big brown eyes sparkling with unconditional love. It was a typical Thursday afternoon, the park filled with the sounds of laughter, children playing, and the distant chatter of friends catching up. Emily had carved out this time for herself after a grueling week at the marketing firm where she worked. Her boss had been breathing down her neck about a major campaign, and she felt the weight of expectations pressing down on her. But here, surrounded by nature and the joyous energy of others, her burdens seemed lighter. As they ventured further along the path, Emily's thoughts wandered to the upcoming weekend. She had no plans, no dates lined up. Not that it mattered much. Her romantic life had taken a backseat to her career ambitions. She had convinced herself she was fine being single, focusing on her goals. But sometimes, late at night, as she lay in bed staring at the ceiling, she wondered what it would be like to share those intimate moments with someone special. Lost in her musings, she nearly stumbled into a man who had stopped abruptly in front of her. Startled, she looked up, ready to apologize, but the words caught in her throat. He stood there, tall and striking, with tousled dark hair and a chiseled jaw that could have been sculpted by an artist. His blue eyes sparkled with mischief, and there was something undeniably magnetic about him. "Sorry about that," he said, a playful grin spreading across his face. "I wasn't watching where I was going." Emily blinked, momentarily speechless. "No, it's fine," she stammered, her cheeks heating up. She could feel Max tugging at his leash, eager to greet the newcomer. "This is Max, by the way." "Nice to meet you, Max," the man said, crouching down, his eyes lighting up as he reached out a hand toward her dog. "What a handsome fellow you are." Max responded with an enthusiastic bark, sniffing the stranger's hand with a curious tilt of his head. I'm Emily," she managed to say, finding her voice as she watched the interaction unfold. There was something so genuine about the way he interacted with Max, as if he understood the joy that furry companions brought into the world. "Pleasure to meet you, Emily. I'm Carter," he replied, his smile widening as he petted Max. Emily couldn't help but notice the confident way he carried himself, a hint of charisma that made her heart skip a beat. "You come here often?" "Most days, actually. It's my little escape after work," she replied, feeling a strange flutter in her stomach. There was an easy charm about him that made her forget her usual reservations. "The grind. What do you do?" he asked, glancing up at her, his eyes sparkling with genuine curiosity. "I work in marketing," Emily answered. It has its moments, but mostly it's a lot of stress." Carter nodded, his expression serious for a moment. "I can relate. I run a tech startup. The pressure can be intense." "Really? That sounds exciting," she said, noting the shift in their conversation. There was something about him that hinted at depth beyond his charming exterior. "What kind of tech?" Mostly software that aims to streamline communication in workplaces, he explained, his enthusiasm evident. I believe that if people can connect better, they can solve problems more creatively. Emily found herself captivated by his passion. That's admirable. Communication is key, especially in today's world. She felt the connection between them deepen as they spoke about their jobs, sharing both the struggles and the triumphs. Just then, Max, ever the lively pup, decided that Carter's shoelaces needed a thorough inspection. He bounded over, playfully tugging at one with his teeth. "Hey, easy there." Carter laughed, his voice rich and inviting. "I'm pretty sure I need these for running away from dogs." Emily laughed too, the sound bubbling up from her chest, easing the tension. "You'd better watch out. Max is a pro at making friends." Carter straightened up, his eyes locked onto hers, and for a brief moment the world around them faded into a soft blur. "I can see that. Maybe I should take a few pointers from him." His gaze held hers, and an unspoken chemistry crackled between them, electric and undeniable. "Maybe you should," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. The intensity in his eyes sent a shiver down her spine, igniting a warmth she hadn't felt in a long time. Suddenly, the air between them felt charged, as if the universe was conspiring to draw them closer together. Emily's heart raced, and she could feel the blush creeping up her cheeks again. Do you want to walk together for a bit?" he asked, his tone casual, but there was an underlying eagerness that she picked up on. "Sure," she said, her pulse quickening. "I'd like that." They began walking side by side, Max happily leading the way. Their conversation flowed naturally, shifting from light banter about their dogs to more personal topics, favorite books, travel destinations, and dreams for the future. Emily found herself laughing more than she had in ages, and with each shared story, her initial shyness began to melt away. "I have to confess," Carter said, glancing sideways at her, "I was hoping to run into someone interesting today. I didn't expect to find such great company." Her heart fluttered, a combination of surprise and delight. "Is that so? I'm flattered," she replied, trying to keep her tone light even as her cheeks flushed again. "I didn't realize I was so interesting." He chuckled, the sound warm and inviting. "Oh, trust me, you are, and Max definitely thinks so too." He reached down to scratch Max's ear again, who leaned into his touch with a contented sigh. "Max has good taste then," she mused, glancing at him with a teasing smile. "I can't argue with his judgment." As they walked, the sunlight dipped lower, casting long shadows behind them. The sky began to blush, hues of pink and orange blending together, a perfect backdrop to the burgeoning connection between them. "So do you come to the park for the dogs or the scenery?" Carter asked, his tone playful. "A bit of both," she admitted, "and maybe hoping for a chance encounter with a charming stranger, but that's just wishful thinking." She shot him a sidelong glance, her heart racing at the flirtatious edge to her words. Carter met her gaze, his expression turning serious as he slowed his pace slightly. "Well, sometimes wishful thinking turns into reality. Just like this," he said, gesturing between them. Emily felt the warmth spread through her, a mix of excitement and hope. "Maybe you're right." As they strolled, the world around them faded further, leaving only the two of them and the gentle rhythm of their conversation. In that moment, beneath the vast sky blending into twilight, Emily felt a connection she hadn't expected, a spark igniting something deep within her that had long been dormant. "I should probably head home soon," she said reluctantly, glancing at her watch. "But I'd love to keep talking. Maybe we could grab coffee sometime." Carter's eyes brightened, a genuine smile breaking across his face. "I'd like that very much," he replied, his voice soft yet filled with certainty. "How about tomorrow? Same time, same place." "It's a date," she said. a thrill racing through her as the words left her lips. As they exchanged numbers, Emily couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of something extraordinary. Her heart was alive with possibility, and as they parted ways, she felt the electric pull of connection lingering in the air, solidifying a moment that would change everything. The following day, Emily felt a peculiar blend of excitement and anxiety as she prepared for her rendezvous with Carter. She stood in front of her closet, sifting through her clothes. What does one wear to meet a billionaire? She muttered to herself, holding up a few options. Eventually, she settled on a simple yet stylish navy dress that flattered her figure and paired it with a light cardigan, feeling a balance of casual and chic. Max, ever the loyal companion, seemed to sense her nervous energy. He watched her from his bed with his head cocked to one side, his big brown eyes expressing a mix of curiosity and concern. "What do you think, buddy? Do I look okay?" She spun around, posing dramatically. Max's tail thumped against the floor, and he barked in approval, as if to say that she was perfect just as she was. "All right then," she said, feeling a little more confident. "Let's go." As they made their way to the park, Emily's thoughts raced. What if they had nothing to talk about? What if their connection was just a fleeting moment, an illusion that would crumble in the light of day? But another part of her pushed back against those worries, reminding her of the genuine chemistry they had shared. When they arrived, the park was alive with the sounds of laughter and the rustle of leaves in the gentle breeze. It was a beautiful day, the sun shining brightly, and the world around her felt vibrant. Emily spotted Carter leaning against a tree, his casual pose commanding attention as he scrolled through his phone. He looked up just as she and Max approached, and his face broke into a wide smile that sent a rush of warmth through her. "Hey there, beautiful," he called out, striding toward them. His eyes lit up with genuine delight, and she couldn't help but blush at the compliment. "Hi," she replied, her heart skipping a beat at his enthusiastic greeting. "Did you wait long?" "Not at all," he said, shaking his head. "Just enjoying the view, and I'm not talking about the scenery." He winked, and her cheeks flushed even deeper at the playful flirtation. Carter crouched down to greet Max, who was practically bouncing with excitement. "Hey, buddy, ready for another adventure?" Max responded with an enthusiastic bark, nuzzling against Carter's hand, and Emily watched the scene unfold, her heart swelling. The way Carter interacted with her dog was undeniably charming. "He loves you already," she said, her voice softening as she knelt beside Max to brush her fingers through his fur. Carter stood, brushing his hands off on his jeans. "I should have known. Dogs have a sixth sense for good people." She met his gaze, a playful challenge in her eyes. "Oh, so you think you're a good person?" "Absolutely," he replied without missing a beat. "Though I guess I could be better at letting people in sometimes, but I'm working on it." His tone was sincere, and for a moment, the lightness of their earlier conversations turned serious, deepening the bond between them. She felt a pang of curiosity at his admission. "What do you mean?" He paused, a thoughtful look crossing his face. "Sometimes, when you're so focused on your career, you forget to nurture the personal side of your life. I've been guilty of that." "Sounds familiar," she said, a hint of understanding tugging at her heart. "I think a lot of us get caught up in what we're supposed to be doing and forget about what we want." Carter nodded, his blue eyes studying her with an intensity that made her heart flutter. "Exactly. Like right now, I'm really enjoying this moment. Just walking, talking, and being present. It's refreshing." Emily couldn't help but smile at his enthusiasm. "It really is. I spent so much time convincing myself I was fine on my own, but moments like this remind me how wonderful it is to connect with someone." "Trust me," he said, his gaze unwavering. "This is just the beginning. I have a feeling we're going to have a lot more moments like this." The air between them felt charged with unspoken possibilities, and Emily found herself leaning ever so slightly closer to him as they continued walking through the park. As they strolled, they fell into an easy rhythm, their laughter mingling with the sounds of the park. They exchanged stories about their childhoods, their shared love for dogs, how they both had grown up in bustling cities yet craved the stillness of nature. Each revelation brought them closer, stripping away layers and revealing their vulnerabilities. "Do you have any siblings?" Carter asked, glancing at her with genuine curiosity. "Just one older brother," she said, feeling an unexpected warmth at the thought of him. "He's in New York working as a lawyer. We were really close growing up, but life got in the way, you know. We don't talk as much anymore." "Yeah, I get that. I have a younger sister," he said. "She's a total free spirit and I admire that about her. I sometimes wish I could be as carefree." "What about you? What do you wish you had more time for?" Emily asked, her voice soft and inviting. He paused for a moment, contemplation etching his features. "Honestly, I wish I had more time to travel. I love exploring new places, experiencing different cultures. There's something about stepping into the unknown that excites me." "Me too," she replied, her heart swelling with shared passion. "I've always wanted to see Italy. The architecture, the food, the art, it sounds magical." "It definitely is," he said, a mischievous glint in his eyes. "How about we plan a trip there together one day?" Her heart raced at the suggestion, and she shot him a teasing smile. "Oh, is that how this is going to work? I didn't realize I was signing up for an international adventure with a billionaire." "Don't let the title fool you," he said, his expression earnest. "I'm just a guy who loves dogs and dreams of exploring new places. And if that means taking someone as lovely as you along for the ride, then I'd say I hit the jackpot." Emily felt her cheeks heat up again and she looked away, trying to hide her shy smile. "Okay, you have a way with words, Mr. Billionaire. I'm sure you charm everyone you meet." "Only the ones worth charming," he replied smoothly, his voice low and sincere. They shared a moment of silence, the air between them thick with anticipation. As they rounded a bend in the path, a warm breeze rustled the leaves overhead, and Max paused to sniff at a nearby bush. Emily used the moment to gather her thoughts. "I have to admit, I didn't expect to connect with someone so quickly." "This is nice." Carter's gaze softened as he turned to her. "I feel the same way. It's like we've known each other forever." She smiled, her heart racing at the intimacy of his words. "Maybe we were meant to meet. Who knows what tomorrow holds?" "Whatever it is, I want to face it with you," he said, his eyes dancing with sincerity. Her breath caught in her throat, and she felt a sense of exhilaration wash over her. They found a bench beneath the sprawling branches of a sprawling oak tree, and as they sat down, their knees brushed together, sending a jolt of electricity through her. "This is nice," she repeated softly, gazing up at the branches swaying gently in the breeze. "I wish I could bottle this feeling up and hold onto it forever." "Why not?" Carter asked, glancing over at her. "You can make it a part of your life. We could make it a regular thing. Explore the city together, let Max lead the way to new adventures." "I'd like that," she admitted, her heart swelling. "As long as you promise to keep giving me reasons to blush." He chuckled and the sound filled her with warmth. "I'll do my best, Emily Hart, but you should know it won't be hard to do." As the sun dipped lower, casting a golden glow around them, Emily felt an overwhelming sense of possibility. Perhaps this was the beginning of something beautiful, something she could never have imagined when she set out for the park that afternoon. In that moment, with the world around her fading into a soft blur, she knew she was ready to embrace it all. Every moment, every connection, every heartbeat shared with a man who had unexpectedly stepped into her life like a vibrant brushstroke on a blank canvas. The sun dipped lower in the sky, creating a warm, golden glow that seemed to wrap around Emily and Carter like a soft, comforting blanket. She leaned back against the bench, her heart fluttering with every stolen glance at him. Carter's presence was undeniably magnetic, and the way he turned to her, his eyes sparkling with mischief, made her feel alive in a way she hadn't experienced in years. "So, what do you do for fun, aside from charming, unsuspecting women in parks?" she teased, breaking the gentle silence that had settled between them. He laughed, the sound rich and warm, sending a thrill through her. "Well, I dabble in the art of cooking. It's a disaster most of the time," he admitted, a sheepish grin on his face. "But I enjoy trying new recipes. Sometimes, I even make it out of the kitchen without setting the smoke alarm off." Emily chuckled at the image. "I can relate. I once tried to make a soufflé for my brother's birthday. Let's just say it ended up looking more like a pancake, an unappealing one at that." Carter raised an eyebrow, clearly amused. "A pancake soufflé? Now that sounds like a culinary invention I'd pay to see." He leaned in, his gaze playful. "Maybe I should challenge you to a cook-off. I promise I'll even bring the fire extinguisher." "Deal," she replied, her laughter mingling with the sounds of the park. The way he looked at her, equal parts teasing and sincere, made her heart race. "But only if you promise to share your secret ingredient for not burning water." "Touché," he said, feigning defeat. "But seriously, I enjoy exploring new restaurants around the city too. The culinary scene is constantly evolving, and I love discovering hidden gems." "Same here," Emily replied, her enthusiasm bubbling over. "I'm always on the lookout for cozy cafes or unique food trucks. There's something so special about finding a place that feels like home, even if it's just for a moment." Carter's expression softened. "I can already see us having countless adventures together, trying out new spots. You know, this might sound a bit cliché, but I have a feeling we'll create some pretty amazing memories." Her heart raced at the suggestion, warmth blooming in her chest. "I'd like that," she said softly, surprised by her own vulnerability. "It's been a while since I've had someone to explore with. Life has been so hectic lately." He studied her for a moment, his gaze intense. "I get it. It's easy to get caught up in the grind and forget to live. But I believe it's those everyday moments that truly matter, like this." He gestured to the park around them, where families picnicked, children played, and couples strolled hand in hand. As their eyes met, a current of unspoken understanding passed between them, an acknowledgement of their shared desires for connection and adventure. She felt the air thicken with possibility, and a part of her whispered that this moment could be the beginning of something profound. "Let's make a pact," he said suddenly, his eyes gleaming. "No more allowing the chaos of life to overshadow the simple joys. Let's prioritize spontaneity, adventure, and whatever it is we're building here." Emily felt a rush of excitement at the thought. "All right, pact made. But you have to promise me you'll be open to embracing the chaos as well. Life isn't always a smooth ride," she warned, her voice teasing yet serious. He nodded, his expression earnest. "I promise. I'm all in for the beautiful chaos that comes with it." Just then, Max nudged his way between them, clearly wanting attention. Emily laughed, reaching down to scratch his ears. "Looks like Max wants to be part of the pact too." "Absolutely," Carter agreed, petting the dog with a tenderness that made her heart swell. "He's the best adventure buddy." The warmth of the moment enveloped them, and Emily felt a sense of belonging she hadn't experienced in years. As they continued to talk about their favorite local spots, the conversation flowed effortlessly, punctuated by laughter and shared stories. She marveled at how he seemed to effortlessly pull her out of her shell, igniting a spark of joy that had long been dormant. "What about you?" Carter asked suddenly, his expression curious. What do you dream of doing beyond the daily grind? Emily paused, taking a moment to gather her thoughts. Honestly, she replied, her voice softening, I've always wanted to write a book, something real, something that captures the essence of life's messy moments and the people who come in and out of it. His eyes widened with intrigue. That's incredible. What genre? Fiction, nonfiction? Fiction, I think, she said, feeling her passion rise. I want to create characters that feel authentic, who navigate the complexities of relationships and the beauty of everyday life. I want readers to feel like they're part of the journey. Carter leaned in, his gaze unwavering. You should do it. I'd read it for sure. I love the idea of getting lost in someone else's world, especially when it's filled with heart and genuine emotion. Her heart fluttered, and she felt a swell of gratitude for his encouragement. Thank you. It's something I've been afraid to pursue. I've always told myself I'll get to it later, but she trailed off, biting her lip. But, he prodded gently, but I think life is too short to keep putting off what truly matters. Maybe I need to stop waiting for the perfect moment and just start writing, even if it's messy at first. Carter's expression softened as he nodded. You've got the right mindset. Take it one page at a time and remember that every great story begins with a single word. You never know where it might lead you. Encouraged by his words, Emily felt a new sense of confidence blooming within her. Thanks, Carter. You have an uncanny way of making me believe in myself. It's refreshing. Good, because you deserve to believe in yourself, he said, his gaze intense yet gentle. And I'll be here to cheer you on every step of the way. The sincerity behind his words sent a shiver down her spine, and she felt an overwhelming urge to reach out and touch his hand. But she hesitated, caught in the moment, unsure if she should push forward or allow the connection to unfold naturally. What about you? She asked, changing the subject to mask her own vulnerability. What dreams have you set aside in pursuit of your career? He sighed, a flicker of something deeper crossing his features. I've always wanted to start a nonprofit focused on education for underprivileged kids. I believe everyone deserves access to quality education, and I want to be part of the solution. Emily felt her heart swell at his passion. That's a beautiful dream. It sounds like you're already doing amazing things with your tech startup. Is there a way to integrate both? He nodded, his expression determined. That's the goal. I want to create a sustainable model that empowers kids to pursue their passions through technology. You know, something that fosters creativity and innovation, rather than limiting it. Wow, she said, genuinely impressed. You have such a big heart. It must feel fulfilling to have a vision like that. It is, he replied, his tone softening as he looked into her eyes. But it also comes with a lot of responsibility and pressure. Sometimes it feels like I'm failing if I don't achieve my goals quickly enough. You're not failing, she said softly, her heart aching for him. You're just human, and every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. It's okay to take the time you need to make your dreams a reality. Carter's gaze held hers, a quiet intensity passing between them. Thank you, Emily. Having this conversation with you has reignited my passion. It's like you've reminded me why I started in the first place. The air between them crackled with unspoken emotions, and Emily felt a deep yearning to bridge the space that lingered between them. She took a breath, her heart racing as she leaned just a little closer. You know, I'm really glad we met. I didn't anticipate this connection, and it's been incredible. Same here, he murmured, his voice low and soft. I wasn't expecting to find someone who understands me so well. This feels different, special. She held his gaze, her heart thrumming in her chest. It does, and I want to explore it to see where it leads us. He nodded slowly, a smile breaking through the intensity. Then let's embrace it. No more holding back, no more waiting for perfect moments. Just us, right here, right now. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in brilliant shades of orange and pink, a breathtaking backdrop for the moment they found themselves in. She felt a warmth radiating from him, and as they drew closer, the world around them faded away. Time stood still, and in that fleeting moment, Emily felt as if they were suspended in an eternity where nothing else existed but them. As their fingers brushed lightly against each other, a spark ignited, sending electricity shooting through her veins. She could feel the chemistry building, the tension thick. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the world around Emily and Carter transformed into a kaleidoscope of colors, casting a warm, golden glow over the park. The whispers of the wind and the distant laughter of children were but a soft backdrop to the palpable tension that hung in the air between them. Each moment felt stretched thin, filled with anticipation and the thrill of possibility. Emily's heart raced as she glanced at Carter, who was gazing at her with an intensity that made her breath hitch. The warmth of the moment enveloped them like a cocoon, and she felt a flutter of excitement mixed with nervousness. Everything about him was magnetic. The way his dark hair caught the fading sunlight, the playful glint in his blue eyes, and the gentle curve of his lips that seemed poised to say something profound. "I can't believe how quickly this day has flown by," she said, hoping to break the tension that felt almost tangible. "I mean, it feels like just moments ago we were talking about pancake soufflés and fire extinguishers." Carter chuckled, the sound deep and inviting. "Yeah, and now we're discussing dreams and putting our hearts on the line. Who knew a walk in the park could be so enlightening?" Emily smiled shyly, feeling the warmth of his gaze on her. "It is kind of unexpected, isn't it? But I'm really glad we're having this talk. It's refreshing to connect with someone who actually gets what I'm trying to say." He nodded, his expression serious yet softening as he looked into her eyes. "You've got a way of peeling back the layers, Emily. I didn't expect to have such an honest conversation today, but here we are." Her heart swelled at his words, and she couldn't help but lean in slightly, feeling the magnetic pull between them grow stronger. "I guess we're both a little vulnerable today, but it's nice to share these moments. It makes everything feel more real." "Exactly," he said, his voice low as he leaned closer. "And I want to make the most of it. I want to know everything about you, dreams, fears, the silly things that make you laugh, everything." Emily bit her lip, feeling a rush of warmth flood through her. "You're making it hard to keep my composure, Carter. I don't usually open up this easily." "Good," he replied, his eyes sparkling with mischief. "I like a challenge. Besides, I promise I won't bite, well, unless provoked." She laughed, the sound bubbling up freely, and felt the tension ease just a little. "I suppose you'll have to prove that you're charming and harmless. I'm not sure I fully believe you yet." "Challenge accepted," he said, his tone playful. "But in all seriousness, I admire your willingness to be open. It takes guts to share your passions and dreams with someone, especially a near stranger." "Maybe I'm just feeling a little reckless," she confessed, her heart racing at the idea. "You make it easy to talk to you, though." He leaned back slightly, studying her with an intensity that sent a shiver down her spine. "I'm glad to hear that. I've always believed that the best connections come from honesty and vulnerability. It's rare to find someone who's willing to let down their guard." Their eyes locked, and for a moment the world around them faded into a soft blur. Emily felt an overwhelming urge to reach out, to bridge the gap that lingered between them. She took a breath, her voice barely above a whisper. "What if we took a leap of faith, Carter? What if we just let ourselves explore this connection?" His expression shifted, a mix of surprise and intrigue flashing across his features. "Are you suggesting we dive headfirst into something we both don't fully understand?" "Maybe," she said, feeling a rush of courage. "But isn't that what makes life exciting? The unknown, the thrill of discovering something new. I want to explore this, whatever it is, and see where it leads. His gaze softened, and she could see the wheels turning in his mind. You're right. Life is too short to hold back, and I can't deny that I've felt something special since we met. It's like the universe conspired to bring us together today. The air between them felt charged, electric with unspoken words and possibilities. Emily's heart raced as she leaned in closer, feeling the warmth radiating from him. Then let's not waste this moment, Carter. Let's embrace it. He reached out, brushing his thumb lightly over her knuckles, sending a shiver of electricity coursing through her. I want to, Emily. I really do. But I also want to make sure we're both ready for whatever this might become. I'm not looking for anything casual. I want something real. Her breath caught in her throat as his words sank in. It was a heady declaration, one that sent her heart soaring and her mind racing. I'm not looking for something casual either, she admitted, her voice steady. I want to build something meaningful, something that matters. But I guess I didn't know if you felt the same way. He leaned closer, his eyes darkening with intensity. Well, I do. I know this is all new and a little unconventional, but I can't shake the feeling that we're meant to explore this connection. It feels right. Emily's pulse quickened, and she could feel the warmth radiating between them, a magnetic force pulling her closer. Then let's not overthink it. Let's just enjoy this moment and see where it leads us. Agreed, he said, his voice barely above a whisper, and in that instant the world around them faded into nothingness. With an almost instinctual motion, Emily reached out, her fingers intertwining with his. It felt right, as if their hands had been made to fit together. The warmth of his touch ignited a spark deep within her, and she could hear the soft thumping of her heart echoing in her ears. Wow, he said, his eyes widening slightly. That's a promising start. She smiled shyly, feeling emboldened by the moment. I'd say so. I think we've both taken the first step into the unknown. He chuckled, his gaze unwavering. And I'm excited to see where it takes us. No pressure, just two people exploring what could be. I like that, she said, her heart racing. Exploration sounds like an adventure worth taking. As they sat in comfortable silence, watching the last rays of sunlight dip below the horizon, Emily felt a renewed sense of hope and excitement blossom within her. It was a feeling she hadn't experienced in too long, a sense of possibility, a belief that the future could hold something beautiful. So, Carter said, breaking the silence, how do you feel about spontaneous trips to Italy? She laughed, her heart lifting at the thought. I'm still processing the idea that you would take someone like me on such an adventure. But if you're serious, I definitely want to go. He grinned, his eyes twinkling. I am serious. Who knows? Maybe we'll find the best hidden gems together. Or we'll just get lost and end up in a small village where they serve nothing but pizza, she teased. Now that sounds like a perfect adventure, he exclaimed, his laughter mingling with hers. Just imagine us, sitting at a quaint little cafe, sipping espresso and planning our next destination. Okay, you've convinced me, she said, playful determination in her tone. But only if I can bring Max along. He needs to experience the Italian sights too. Absolutely, he replied, his eyes sparkling. Max can be our official tour guide. He might even lead us to the best pizza joints. As they continued to banter back and forth, Emily felt a sense of ease wash over her. The world around them had faded into a soft blur of color, and in that moment, she realized that she had found something rare and precious, a connection that held the promise of adventure, laughter, and warmth. As they prepared to stand and continue their walk, Emily stole a glance at Carter, her heart brimming with excitement. You know, she said, her voice softer, I'm really glad we met. You've brought a spark back into my life that I didn't know I was missing. He met her gaze, the sincerity in his eyes sending a shiver down her spine. "I feel the same way, Emily. You've reminded me of what it means to truly connect with someone, to be present and alive in the moment." With a newfound determination, they both stood, still holding hands, as if anchoring one another in this newfound connection. The park enveloped them in its gentle embrace, and they took their first steps together into the unknown, ready to explore the journey that lay ahead, with Max leading the way, of course.